Welcome to the Stray Dog Podcast. I'm your host, Ian.
I'm Ross.
And I'm Collin.
And yeah, Stray Dog Podcast. So what the hell is this podcast?
That's a really good question.
Who are we? How do we know each
Who are
other?
these people?
Well, I'm Ian Baker. I am a filmmaker located in Jersey. And yeah, I've known these guys since college. And we've worked together on a few different projects.
Which, by the way, was only a few months back.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
we didn't go to college in the 90s. I'm not the godfather to any of these
Thanks.
people's children.
Yeah, it's not like it's not really like yeah, we're like straight out of college.
Yeah.
We went to Montclair State. Ian graduated before me and Collin.
I'm an old fuck.
He's an old fuck.
Top 5 regrets
Yes, top 5 regrets in my life.
of my
And
life.
We're all filmmakers.
We're all
who-
filmmaking people, and we're gonna make movies together.
Yeah.
And also
We
started.
love talking movies.
We
We
love
love
talking about
talking
movies.
movies.
It's
We love-
literally one of the only things we talk about.
Oh, yeah. It's
We're
the
like-
only thing we talk about.
And yeah,
Like when we try to talk about what was happening on the Senate floor, we were like, Paul McCartney was there? Well, there was a McCarthy or something like that? The people...
What you talking about?
People were duking it out. Like we had no idea what the fuck we were talking about.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about right now.
I think he's talking about
Senate
the
floor.
Senate.
The Senate floor.
Oh, I thought you said McCartney, like Paul
Uh,
McCartney.
Exactly.
Okay.
I was going to show how confused we were about contemporary politics.
And I'm confused right now.
Anyway,
Here we love movies.
Here
and
we
we
love
are going to
movies.
talk about movies. What's on the agenda today?
All right, we're talking about the original Muppet movie and the almighty classic Robocop.
The original.
Inside you, there are two wolves.
The Muppet movie and RoboCop.
Yeah. Okay. So the Muppet movie was my suggestion because I love the Muppets. And what year is it from?
1979.
Thank you. It's from 1979.
So how many years was the Muppet Show on air before the Muppet movie came out?
All right. Okay. Making me pull up
Years?
IMDb.
I want to say like three
Okay, so the
years?
Muppet Show premiered in 1976, and the
3
Muppet movie,
years.
3 years.
Damn.
Oh,
So
I
I
didn't
think
even
it's-
know when it
okay.
started.
So I think the Muppet movie, if I'm right, I believe it premiered midway through season 3. And of course, the Muppets are created by Jim Henson. However, he wasn't the director of the Muppet movie. It's directed by James Frawley, who is he also he's the guy that directed the Monkees. And nothing of interest besides the Monkees and the Muppet movie. Let's be real.
So the Monkees, the band?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the band, yeah.
But did Jim Henson? He didn't, or no, he wrote it, right?
No, it's written by Jerry Jewell and Jack Burns,
Okay.
who wrote for the Muppet Show, and they are comedy geniuses.
Well, how come they Jim Henson and the whole Henson company they didn't start out out of the gate working on the movie of here, we're gonna write it and we'll at least produce it, maybe direct it, because down the line that's what they did.
I mean, I think
They didn't have that sway yet.
yeah, I mean, I don't think Jim Henson had any directing chops, and they're like, okay, we don't know if this whole Muppet Show thing is really gonna translate well to a movie. Let's get an actual movie person to
Also,
direct
he
it.
acts in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true, but
Yeah.
he did it in the other
No, I mean,
ones,
he
too.
did. I mean, clearly Jim Henson plays a big role. He's the fucking producer. It's very much his vision, as well, with the help of all his, teammates that he leads. Muppet movie.
Muppet
What's
movie.
it about?
That's
What did
the
you
origin
think?
of the Muppets.
Oh, Colin, this was your first time seeing it. What
It
did you
was
think?
my
Yeah.
first time seeing it.
Yeah.
It says it's so beautifully wholesome, and I love Kermit as the protagonist. He just wants he's discovered in a swamp by a talent agent who's lost, and the talent agent.
Dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise. Dom DeLuise. By the way,
Jesus.
fantastic cameos throughout this movie.
Oh,
Yes.
But
Best cameos
Dom,
at the end.
yeah. Dom DeLuise comes out and he's like, "Hey man, you're funny and you can sing a pretty good song on that banjo of yours. You should go to Hollywood." And Kermit's like, "I like it here." And I'm not even gonna attempt a Kermit impersonation.
Oh
okay?
yeah, that's my job.
Exactly.
That was Ian doing
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. I don't want to. I just wanted to be in the swamp.
I just feel like every Kermit impression is just a little cringe.
I don't care.
Okay.
But yeah, Kermit is just like, I like it here in the swamp. And he's like, but you can make millions happy.
He's like, millions
he's
of
like-
people happy.
He's like, yeah, I want to make people happy.
That's what's great about like
Yeah.
his whole character in this is that usually when there's a movie or a show that's like, I'm gonna go to Hollywood and be like a huge famous whatever.
yeah.
This one is like, I just want to go and make people happy.
But also, like, isn't the concept like there's Orson Welles' character's like looking for frogs for something?
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah,
still,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
going
Looking
there
for
to
frogs.
just
Like-
make people happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to make
and,
people.
like-
once they-
That's it.
Yeah, he's not like
He's
there
not
is
looking to
there
be
is the
famous
rich
and
and famous.
rich.
There is the rich and famous contract, but his end goal is to make people happy.
This
Yeah.
isn't Babylon. Like he's not like Margot Robbie, where he's like, I'm
a star.
I'm gonna become a star, and I always was a star, and more people need to recognize that I'm a star.
I'm a star.
No, like Kermit is just like, I want to bring joy and happiness to all these people. That's something that like I want to do as a filmmaker. You know what
For
I mean?
sure.
Yeah,
Like,
likewise.
yeah, like
then-
I don't particularly like, if I become good enough to have films that are shown worldwide, like I don't particularly want to become this like massive celebrity or anything like that, or live in like a huge big house. Like I like Hayao Miyazaki's philosophy to filmmaking, where he's just like, I just live in my nice little house by a tree, and I make my movies. Like that's what I aspire to do.
Just want to live near an open field.
Yeah, I just want to live near an open field, have
Not
a nice
surrounded
tree.
by anything.
Yeah, Yeah, and that's what Kermit is like too. He's not
Yeah.
like I'm trying to like, marry a model, even though he does marry a model.
Well, that's up for debate.
That's up for debate,
That's up for
definitely.
debate.
Miss
It's actually
Piggy is
yeah.
totally
no,
a
but
model.
no. It's up for debate whether or not they get married.
Okay.
That's a whole. Don't get me started on that.
That's like in the
That
Muppets
happens
Take
in Muppets
Manhattan.
Take Manhattan.
But then it's so.
They just fall in love with this
no,
one.
but like they're so wacky with the way they present the Muppets as like they are celebrities in the real world. So it's like in interviews, Kermit and Piggy would talk about like people would ask them about their marriage, and they're like, and Kermit would insist that no, that was just a movie. We didn't really get married. And then Piggy would be like, no, we did. Like that's the whole.
Oh, that's
the whole gag.
Yeah, that's like it's like a
Okay.
whole. Yeah, it's like a never-ending. Kermit and Piggy's relationship is
It's
like
tempestuous.
it's a constantly changing thing. I think they like went through a breakup of when they did that like that sitcom recently,
It sucked.
and it's yeah,
That
it did.
sucked.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
There was a new Muppet sitcom.
It was back in
In
like
like 2015,
15.
yeah.
Are you
Somewhere
talking
around
about the
there.
movie with Jason Segel?
No, this was
no.
called The Muppets. And
It was like The Office meets The Muppets,
I
basically.
hate that. I
yeah.
hate
Yeah.
it so much.
And
Yeah.
It was really
Make it
cringe
stop.
too. Like
Yeah.
fucking Fozzie was dating a girl, and like the parents disapproved.
Yeah.
Like a
just-
human girl? Or
Yeah,
like a
human
bear?
girl.
Like a human girl.
Human
yeah.
girl.
Yeah, I don't want to think about those mechanics.
And he's like drinking
you know?
a glass of wine, sitting on the couch, talking to the parents.
It's just
I
so
kind of like the
awkward.
idea of that. I
That's-
like Fozzie being on the couch drinking some wine.
Yeah, and,
You know what I mean?
It's
But
just
yeah,
fucking awkward to me.
there's some weird shit in that show. But anyway, this movie is great, and I think like the thing that really like inspired, like why the Muppets inspired me growing up is because like the technical side to it and like all the tricks you have to pull off just to make this work. So like we're still talking about the first scene. Like Kermit's sitting on a log floating on top of the water. Jim Henson had to like hang out in a tank nearly suffocating.
I mean,
for,
did he
like,
have
I don't know.
oxygen down
Yeah,
there?
no, he had oxygen,
Yeah.
but it's like it does not seem pleasant. And like, they had to figure out how to make him ride a bicycle. It's actually pretty simple. It's a marionette, but like,
That actually like was the most impressive thing for me.
Is
like
it-
seeing him on a bicycle just
but
going
also,
by himself.
what's even? Did you even think about how Fozzie and Kermit can drive a car?
I only really like that's fine because it's like, yeah, they can do that. That's fine.
No, but like, you didn't think about like, have you thought about the logistics of like how to technically make?
no, but it was
a
more
bear drive a car?
impressive. It was more impressive to see Kermit on the bike than it was
Yeah.
the driving scene.
What was really
Because you got to
impressive-
see
Yeah.
like a full shot
Yeah,
of Kermit just going by himself on a bike with like,
it's magic.
I'm sure
It's
with
like-
the car it's probably a lot more logistics, but
Yeah, like
for
it's
me,
technically because it's like you don't know right off the like with the car you could be like, oh, there's a guy hiding in another part of the car that's really driving.
yeah, I'm sure there's some like
Yeah.
super thing, but it's just like amazing to me to
Yeah.
see a full-fledged Muppet just on his own, going for it, and on a bike.
He's on a bike.
Like, how the fuck did that work?
It's just it's a marionette. That's like
Yeah,
what's
but
crazy. It's like it's so simple. It's so
the most
simple
thing.
but it like blows your mind.
Yeah.
Because it's just like
That's why, because like when I see
he's
like
real.
a creature or whatever driving a car, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then like when you see it just by itself on a
Yeah.
bike on its own, just going like almost. I know this is a little off topic, but like in The Invisible Man, the original,
Yeah.
when he's just like the bike is moving by itself.
It's just so joyous
Yeah.
to see.
The Cloud Range one? Or...
Yeah, the Cloud Rains.
I mean, there is just something magical about bicycles in general.
Yes.
Bicycles is whimsical.
Yeah.
But like bike riders have like destroyed them for everyone. You know what I mean? That stereotype of that biker who just takes up like the entire street. Who
Well-
wears all that biking gear and stuff like that. Like no one wants to be that guy.
I think they're innocent.
You think they're innocent?
Yeah, you're no better than the people that actively run them over.
I know I don't actively run bikers over. I'm just saying that like when there's a group of bikers and I'm late to work, they're slowing me down, maybe.
Well, we need to make bike-friendly roads.
I think we should make bike lanes.
I mean, we have
should make
bike
like-
lanes,
but we need more.
we
yeah.
need more bike lanes.
We need more bike
You
lanes.
can't bike in Montclair. The streets aren't big enough.
Well, Montclair is too hilly.
But that makes biking that makes like the activity of biking like harder.
Yeah.
And so it's a better workout when it's hilly.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You know, like biking in San Fran, that's a big thing.
Yeah,
For sure.
You know?
definitely.
But so anyway, general
Yeah.
like
vibes.
as the Muppet
I'm
expert
no
here,
automatron.
Yeah.
what are your thoughts compared to like all the other films?
I mean, I think I would probably rank this at the top. So it's like, I guess my ranking is like the Muppet movie, then like Muppet Christmas Carol below that, and then Muppets Take Manhattan below that, and then
Muppet Treasure Island.
no, that Muppet
Space?
Treasure Island sucks. Wait, give me a second.
Okay.
Did I say Muppets Take Manhattan already?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and then Great Muppet Caper below that.
Okay.
Okay, and then I already said Christmas Carol is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, and then so below Manhattan, then Caper, then below Caper would probably be Muppets from Space,
Mm-hmm.
and then Muppets. Oh shit! Wait, what about Muppets Most Wanted? Okay, okay, so Muppets Most Wanted goes below Caper, and then
Okay.
Over
And then-
space, right?
I think I might put Space.
Below Wanted.
Yeah, below Most Wanted,
Is that like the top 5 then, or?
and then below Space
Okay.
goes Muppets 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And then Muppet Treasure Island's at the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I mean, yeah,
It's
weirdly.
got Tim Curry.
Yeah.
No, it does have Tim Curry in it, but like it's not funny. It's not funny, and it's not.
But it's probably entertaining to see how the Muppets take on Treasure Island. Like that's a classic story.
I mean, I don't really like the story of Treasure Island that much.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
not really. Sorry, hot
Wow.
take.
God
Dude.
damn.
But also,
Like-
but no, but
Ugh.
it's just like the way they pulled off isn't that like who's the main character from Treasure Island?
The kid.
The
He's just like
kid.
he's played by a human boy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, they should have had like
And
one
then-
of the Muppets play the boy.
But he has two best friends, Gonzo and Rizzo.
okay.
that follow him
Gonzo should have
around.
been the kid then.
And like the humor just doesn't work.
They should have
like
just
there's
been
a whole...
Gonzo as the kid.
yeah,
then.
that's
There's no need
Yeah,
for the
right.
kid.
And then like the
So who plays the nefarious pirate that has a soft spot for the kid?
that's Tim Curry.
yeah, that's
Oh really?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Pennywise.
So this isn't even a Muppet movie.
no, it's
Well,
not.
no,
It's
but
just an
Kermit's like the,
adaptation of Treasure Island.
Kermit's like the captain,
Okay.
and then like it just
But like for a Muppet movie, I
Yeah.
feel like, oh well, Michael Caine plays Scrooge,
Brilliantly.
in Christmas Carol. So I guess it's not entirely true, but like, I would like the main character of a Muppet movie to be a Muppet.
I mean that's also kind of like the biggest problem with the Muppets 2011 with Jason Segel is that it's about like the Muppets are supporting characters in the story that should be 100% about them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they got this really
You know.
lame
it's like
new
Kermit's
Muppet.
like a supporting character.
Yeah,
in
it's
that.
like it's more about Jason
Which really
Segel
sucks.
and
The lame new Muppet,
yeah, what's his name?
which is a pencil
Walter.
pusher.
Yeah, Walter.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck Walter.
Yeah.
I don't care about him.
Yeah, fuck Walter.
I want to see
But yeah.
Rizzo.
But yeah, no, like but yeah, no,
I want to see Rizzo seize the day, man.
yeah. I don't think we're gonna see Rizzo for a long time.
When am I gonna get
No.
my Rizzo mobster movie where he takes
It's
over
not
Manhattan?
Steve. Ever since
Jesus.
Steve Whitmire got fired. I don't think we're gonna
Well,
get.
those new
much
guys
Rizzo.
who can play Rizzo, right? Like,
I don't know. That's like Rizzo is like 100% Steve Whitmire's character, and I feel like it would like. I feel like a lot of those puppeteers were like friends with Steve Whitmire. It'd be like bad taste to do Rizzo. You know?
Can they bring him back?
I
Was he taken down in like the Me Too movement or something?
no,
like
it's
that,
like
or?
we don't really know what.
He just sort of vanished.
It's really weird. It's like Disney fired him for so-called unacceptable business practices.
Okay.
And then Brian Henson chimed in,
Uh-huh.
and I should give some context. Steve Whitmire is the guy that took over for playing Kermit after Jim Henson died. So anyway,
And when did Jim Henson die?
1990.
Okay.
Yeah, Disney. It was announced in like 2016, I think. Disney fired him for unacceptable business practices, and then Brian Henson chimed in. And he was saying like, "Oh, he made Kermit into a flat, miserable character," but not really. It was more that 2015 show that made him into a flat, miserable character. And then they replaced him with Matt Vogel, who I have nothing against Matt Vogel, but his Kermit doesn't sound right. And that's not even the big problem. It's that his Kermit feels even more flat because now let's circle this back to the Muppet movie. Is that like all of his character comes from just quotes and phrases from the Muppet movie? It feels like
That sucks.
It
so
feels-
it's like a cheap imitation kind
That's-
of.
yeah. So it's just
Fucking
like
dumb as
so like
shit.
in interviews he's like, oh well, it's all about making millions of people happy,
Yeah.
and it's like that's all he has
that's
to
not
say,
enough.
and he's like, oh, I just love my friends.
So it's a copy and paste job, basically.
But it's like it's so because like when you think about Kermit on the Muppet Show, he's really dynamic. He's like can be an angry, bitter asshole.
Yeah.
And like just a very stressed, anxiety-ridden
Yeah.
Yeah.
leader.
Fucking
Where
He's got a
crazy.
lot to carry, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
like
He's a star.
and I like Muppet movie Kermit, but like the fact that that's now the default Kermit bums me out because it makes him so flat. He's just a nice guy.
It
and
also
that's
makes
it.
sense that he's like that way because the Muppet Show hasn't begun yet.
In terms
Yeah.
of the canon of that, yeah.
So he's this
Now he's
bright-eyed kid who
Yeah,
goes to
yeah, yeah.
Hollywood.
And then he's
And
finally
then when
there,
he's
he
finally
understands
there,
the
he's just
stress
like,
that's,
"Holy shit,
like-
this is terrible.
Yeah, this is a fucking terrible
I'm
job.
fighting for my life.
My sanity, my lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, for me anyway, because I'm not as big as a Muppets fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the Muppets Take Manhattan in a while. That's probably my favorite. But this is probably like my second favorite one.
Okay.
So I have to rewatch Manhattan again. But I did really enjoy looking back on this because it felt a lot more freeing than a lot of the further ones that
Yeah,
come down
it's
the
very
line.
it's very like
Buoyant.
Zucker Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of gags, but the gags work.
Like the drinks on the house.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they're all on top of the
Oh,
house.
Yeah,
Or like everything.
The fat sailor.
Yeah, the
It's-
fat sailor
yeah.
Adolf Sleazo.
even with
And
the fucking carnival too, like introducing Piggy and then having all those like Dreamland.
Yeah, then this,
Look at the fantasies that she
Yeah.
has with Kermit.
yeah,
That's great.
It's great. Yeah,
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
it just feels less earthbound.
Yeah.
Because in Muppets Take Manhattan, like, they gotta pay, like, Manhattan rent. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
they're
they
struggling.
they get
They get lockers.
Yeah, they get
They live
lockers.
in lockers in Penn Station.
yeah. No,
You know
that's
what I
like that's
mean?
like a very down to earth Muppet movie.
Yeah,
That's the one Frank Oz directs. He's a very serious man. And then
Yeah, but this one is like a Fantasia. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
It
it's
feels-
just a very
What's great is that
It's
it
very-
feels like a fantasy.
it's very
Yeah.
big and sprawling.
Mhm.
It has like that
pure Americana.
Yeah.
the moment in the desert where Kermit talks to himself.
I think that's
Like,
when I related to Kermit the most because I
Yeah.
think we've all had that moment in life of just like we're trying our best here. And we
Yeah.
actually have to talk to ourselves to get us to actually
like-
get motivated.
Yeah.
Motivate
No,
ourselves. yeah.
I probably had that talk before every one of the film productions that I was the director in.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like where you're just like, oh, I brought all these people on and everything's falling apart. Why did I do this to them? And you just have to be like, well, you can make a change, man.
Yeah.
You can still make this good. You can still. It's not over till it's over.
I mean, it's another story of like you just have to keep trucking in order to get your dream done or made or, you know, cross that line. Because if you just like say, oh, life sucks, then you're not going to move anywhere.
You're just gonna be in the swamp.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking to be like, this is going to be such a big change in my life. But when you finally take that chance, it can pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got like that really satisfactory ending.
Yeah.
Like life's like a movie, write your own ending. Keep on. It's like that's the ideal. Like just
go. Just
go
keep
for it.
going.
This is the most hopeful movie I've
It is a
seen.
very hopeful movie.
Yeah.
This is more hopeful than A New Hope.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Totally.
Anything else we want to cover? Do we want to talk about any of the other characters?
Sweetums.
Sweetums, yes. That was such a
Sweetums.
funny gag.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, I'm like, this is great, but they didn't tie Sweetums back in.
And then he
And then
comes
through the
Sweetums
screen.
comes through the screen.
He's great.
It's
He's
beautiful.
great.
Didn't you say he reminds you of your dad?
He's so much like my father, and that makes him really endearing to me. You know what I mean? He says this joyful, a little,
He's fucking crazy.
not crazy. He says he's very boyish, I would say. You know what I mean? He's a little raggedy, like my father. Like, I don't want to insult my father with this comparison, but he's a lot like Sweetums.
He's just a big thumping man.
Big
He's-
thumping man who
with his feet out.
with his feet out.
You think he's like almost a big, friendly giant in a lot of ways?
Kind of. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a much better way of saying it. Yeah, Sweetums and my dad are both just like big friendly giants who just want to tag along for the party, and you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
Sweetums.
I still
John
say,
Whale.
I
Same
say that
person.
when they're leaving with the car, or no, not even that. Like, I think the funniest thing is with Sweetums, he accidentally, he swat like a bug or something?
Yeah, he swat like a bug in that.
and it
made
goes
the
right in
price
between.
cheaper.
It's right in between
Yeah.
the price.
Good gag.
It's
Solid
great.
gag.
And then he's like, "Take me to Hollywood," and then when he,
He
just,
first says, "No, I can."
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't. No, it's he says, "Would you like to go to Hollywood?" And he's like, "Hollywood," and then he runs off. And then they think that
Let's go
means
to
he doesn't
Hollywood.
want to, and then he comes back and he was just packing.
Yeah.
It's a solid
It's
joke.
like, "Hey guys, wait up!"
Perfect.
It's
This
great.
movie has perfect comedy writing.
That's another
Yeah.
thing I do
Like,
want to mention.
yeah.
It's like the script is amazingly tight,
Dynamite.
and I love how this is an origin story that doesn't feel like it has to set up a bunch of bullshit.
And it also
Yeah.
it knows the perfect place to introduce every character.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't care about characters' backstories.
yeah.
I
That's
love
another
that
thing
too.
I don't want to hear a bunch of exposition of Fozzie who came from a fucking like
No, like
forest.
we know, like he's a bear, so
Yeah.
it goes without saying he came
Yeah.
from a forest because
Yeah,
he's talking
that's
about
it.
how his uncle's hibernating.
But
Yeah.
no,
And
we
then-
don't, we
Done.
don't have to
And
go
like-
back into like Ralph's musical career.
Yeah.
And how
No,
he learned
he's
piano.
he's just
you
at
know what I mean?
he's just at the
let's
piano
just,
at the bar.
Just see people in action.
Yeah,
Let's
that's it.
just see people
In their element.
In their element. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
I don't need them to explain their backstory to me.
I mean, I think Gonzo's the only one where it's like, and I do love Gonzo in this movie, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, he's just in a car, plumbing. Like you don't
he's
even
the
see him
king
plumbing.
of plumbing,
Yeah.
the prince of plumbing, baby.
Okay, so one other thing.
He's a hard
Um,
character to introduce.
He
It's
is.
like
You just gotta show really
'Cause
him
he's such
doing
a- he's-
really silly.
He's just a weird guy
I
who
love
who
Gonzo.
loves his chicken girlfriend, and
He's great.
One-
Does he love her though?
I
mean,
No, I
wasn't
think he
he
does
looking-
love her, but he's just like very
he's just a
horny.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
just,
I don't know if I want to describe a Muppet like this.
well,
but
he's no in early Muppet Show. He's like really weird around Piggy.
like
He's very weird around Piggy. Yeah.
like
What?
he really wants to, like he just wants to take
Mm-hmm.
her on a date, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
One other
But, like-
thing
And,
too.
but she likes the sensitive type, and Gonzo
yeah.
is insensitive.
One other thing before we move on to our next flick.
I could talk.
Favorite
about this
cameo.
Favorite
movie all day.
cameo.
Oh baby.
Shoot.
Yeah, three for
I already know
whirlwind.
mine, so I'm gonna go.
I know
first.
mine too. Can I say
Steve
mine first?
Martin.
Or no, you can go first.
I knew you were gonna say
Steve
that.
Martin, first of all, is one of the greatest comedians of all time. Even though he's like world famous, I still find him to be underrated because I feel like his style of comedy is just so stellar and just so captivating, and he's just in such a foul mood in this movie. And it's just such a, like, his character could have been so boring. It could have just been a
Yeah.
waiter who gives them their food, tells them when the telephone is there for them. But no,
The fact that he's like angry.
he's
Yeah,
angry.
he's just pissed
He's
off.
He's just
stuff.
pissed off.
For is it because like he knows that he's not gonna get a very good tip from this pig and frog?
Well, with Steve Martin characters, they're just discontent with their place in life.
Also
like, I
the
feel like that's
shorts.
definitive of
The
the Steve
shorts
Martin
are
What is that,
character.
the shorts? Is it because he's in the outfit?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's part of the Steve Martin archetype. You know what I
Smell
mean?
the
Like,
bottle cap.
in Parenthood, and like the only movie where he's happy in his life is the joke. And that's because he's blissfully ignorant of everything that's going on in the world.
I know.
In every other movie, like he can make ends meet. Like he doesn't like his job. Like the line in Parenthood is like, you don't have to do this. And Steve Martin says to his wife, my entire life is a have to. That defines the Steve Martin character. And so this is like very on brand for him. He's a waiter who doesn't want to wait tables. And it's
All
great.
right, my
So
favorite
Ross?
cameo. I'm gonna have to go with Orson Welles.
Okay, explain.
There's just so much build up to him, and it's the perfect guy to end it with. He's just has such a power and presence, and the fact that he's like, there's no negotiation. He's just like, get me the standard rich and famous contract for Kermit the Frog and
But
company.
he doesn't say it immediately. He absorbs them first.
He
That's
has
the
to-
thing.
He like
You know what I
eyes
mean?
them up
Yeah.
a little
Eyes
bit.
them up a little bit.
He's
and
so
like, "Can
he's
I
got
make
his
bank
cigar.
off of this?"
He's got his
Yeah.
cigar.
He's got his huge office.
He knows they've got it. It is also kind of cool to think of like Orson Welles as like the king of Hollywood, because he has that presence
What
about
a better
him.
place Hollywood would be.
But he wasn't.
He
though.
wasn't. He was an he was
Every-
a pariah.
He didn't
Every
really
movie.
give a shit about ours.
Yeah,
like,
every movie he had a fight for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that also kind of.
There's such a sad interview in They'll Love Me When I'm Dead where he's starting to tear up about
Yeah.
how hard like he had to work for every movie. And he's like, I could have been a politician. I could have been a painter or something like that.
And,
but
and
I fought for
but,
these films.
but I
And
feel
it's
like I feel like that
Orson.
that fight in him and his willingness to do stuff
Yeah.
also totally works with the theme of this movie.
Yeah.
Which is like,
yeah. It's basically
life's
yeah.
like a movie, write your own ending. Like just do it. Just if you feel the need to entertain and do something, you got to
You
just
fucking do it.
follow through with
Even
it.
if you're doing a podcast in your mom's closet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta do it.
It's the only soundproof area.
The only
So,
soundproof area in the
so then
movie.
I would have
Yeah.
to say for me, I'm also gonna go with Orson Welles.
Oh, you got to have a third one.
No, I'm going with Orson Welles.
Well, what else? There's like the Richard Pryor with the
Pryor's-
Well,
balloons.
my
He's
thing
a great
is-
balloon salesman,
yeah,
by the way.
but
Yeah.
mine is Orson Welles because there is something about him that he just looks at them. There's not really anything else. He just sees them and takes a puff, and then he's like, all right, get the contract.
Give me the rich and famous
That's it.
contract.
If only it was that easy.
Yeah, if only it was that easy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, then every other person in the world would be a filmmaker in
I
Hollywood.
feel like Frank Oz was pissed off at this ending, and that's why he made Muppets Take Manhattan.
Well,
And to show how hard show business actually is.
Well, what's interesting is that Jim Henson and Frank Oz did have a disagreement over Doc Hopper's arc, the villain. So basically, Jim Henson wanted Kermit to give Doc Hopper like his big speech, where he's in the
which
cowboy
is
hat,
beautiful.
and
Yeah.
and then that Doc Hopper would have a change of heart, and then Frank Oz was like, "It's bullshit. No, he's a terrible asshole. People don't just change.
Yeah.
People don't just
People
change
don't
like
change
that.
like that.
Yeah." And Jim is like a good collaborator, so he's like, yeah, you might be right.
I love it. Like the conversations are literally conversations between Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, no, they're
that's who
basically
they're based off of.
yeah,
That's
there's
great.
That's
yeah.
funny.
Anyway,
How many stars do we give this movie?
yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Are we
around.
going out of 10 or out of 5?
Let's go out of 5.
Okay.
I feel more comfortable with out of 5 because if you do 10, then it's like someone's gonna do point something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Okay.
Point. Point.
All right, so
Okay.
5 stars.
5 stars.
Going for it.
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna go 5.
All right.
Well, a unanimous 5 stars.
Yeah,
First movie on the pod.
and it's a perfect
And we
5.
start out with
Perfect
a bingo.
Yeah.
Perfect 5. Could we have gone more in depth? Maybe. We're still working out the kinks on our dynamic.
We're trying to figure this shit out.
Anyway, RoboCop.
All right.
Robocop!
Okay, so
Just
Collin.
peek the mic some more, will you?
Robocop!
Collin.
Animals!
Animals. Collin.
Animals!
Collin. Collin.
Gotta
Because you brought RoboCop, you want to start?
Yes. So, it's interesting. The reason why I've developed such a great love for RoboCop. The reason why I developed such a great love for RoboCop over the past few weeks is actually from a podcast I listened to.
What podcast?
Blank Check with Griffin and David.
They talk about RoboCop?
Griffin thinks that it's the great American movie, and he thinks it's the greatest movie ever made, and that man's palpable passion for this film inspired me to watch it again.
All right.
And it made me realize, because when I watched it, I was like 16, I didn't really I had lots of a brain than I have now. So I didn't really like look at the subtext of the movie. I just saw it as this big dumb action movie. You know what I mean? But I saw it again after that podcast that I listened to, and I was like, oh my god, this movie is just such a great attack on the police force, on American consumerism,
absolutely,
on the privatization of American.
You call it subtext.
That's not subtext at all.
It's like really,
it's out there.
Right in front.
It's
really
furious.
It's basically just say fuck the cops. That's essentially.
Well, no, it's more about like the
from.
system.
Yeah.
Because it's like, here's this corporation that basically owns the police. That's like, hey, let's make the perfect cop, and like, we don't know for a fact whether or not they're creating more crime or not. Like,
they totally are.
They totally no, they literally are. Yeah, they literally are. Yeah, actually, wait, yeah, they literally are.
It's causing more crime than good.
Yeah, no, the gang is owned by the gang owns the police. Yeah, of course they are.
They profit off the crime.
They're all connected, which is.
It's a well constructed world.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's like all those like thrillers where like the end is they knew it all along. You know how like it goes straight to the top.
Yeah.
All the crime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those are fine, But I think this one does it best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, everything is corrupt. Everything is fucked up. This is the type of world that we live in. And then a Jesus comes in, tries to save it, gets his hand blown off.
Yeah.
And then he literally becomes a product of this corporation.
It's like so fucked up. And that's also like the thing is like, Robocop's not like an action movie where it's like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a Robocop? It's like, isn't it fucked up that there's a Robocop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is also just kind of like the idea of like, police are trained in the real world. Police are kind of trained to be, machines that follow the rules.
Yeah.
And like don't necessarily
Which is
think
why
super
we love so
independently.
many cop movies where the cop goes against the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
they
why
just
that's
say
the
fuck
favorite
it.
archetype of a Hollywood movie cop is the type who's like, I'm not filling out that paperwork. This buster's going down.
I'm gonna shoot that motherfucker.
Yeah, like the Dirty Harrys, the Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon. Those
But
are
also,
the guys
I feel like RoboCop is different. Like Murphy is different from that because
he totally follows protocol.
But like his arc is that like it really highlights the human aspect of the RoboCop, whereas Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon, like they're just fucking maniacs.
They're just fucking maniacs.
They just decide to do whatever they want.
They are not people we should aspire to be like.
They don't have humanity to them.
Yeah, they don't.
They're just completely random.
RoboCop is RoboCop, a man who's been stripped of his humanity. It's his humanity that comes through that makes
and helps him take down the system.
That makes it makes him admirable. Yeah.
Especially the last line of just like good shooting, kid. What's your name? And he's just like Murphy.
And we all knew the line before he was going to say
well, of course.
But it's
just the way
it
just goes. It's just like Murphy. And then it just goes. That's the end of the
Cuts
movie.
Black. By the way, this is such an athletically made movie.
Yeah.
It's
no fat.
43 minutes. And that is just incredible how much story they get done.
So much and very economic world building with their commercials.
Oh yeah.
Like with the board game with the
Newcomb.
Yeah. Like exactly what world this is. The newscast where they they accidentally destroy like
Santa Barbara. Where two retired presidents live.
Oh god. Like whoops, press the button.
And that's just like glossed over. Next thing.
Yeah. Like that it's not that important.
But also that does make me think like that we're on CNN, they would not stop talking about that
for like at least a couple weeks.
Yeah. But then you wouldn't catch up with any other horrible things that are happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all selective.
Or actually, no, they would probably just fixate on one politician's petty comment. And then,
just like, oh, this shitty thing happened, and then this asshole said something else. So
well, CNN probably wouldn't even look at the tragedy. They would focus on who was behind it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they would have reporters like going up to the people who operate the space satellite and just like, yeah,
They gotta
like,
send up a CNN rocket.
yeah,
That one would probably malfunction.
That would actually, malfunction and then hit the
too.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
create more tragedy.
But
There's one top.
I always
CNN
think
exec-
about what is it with like weather reports where like there's a big hurricane and they send the weather guy out in a hurricane, like
Yeah.
this is my
Well, I mean, how
job.
many times
Like-
are they actually out on the hurricane, and how many times is it?
no, they're like in the wind. They're
Yeah.
like almost getting knocked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why did you don't need to do this?
Yeah.
You don't need
Just
to do
go
this.
from a window and just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think for me, because I'm such a big lover of sci-fi, and it's something that it's another movie what a sci-fi film should do. It should basically be exploring something in our world through this high reality science fiction premise. It's
Yeah.
just something that, to me, if it does that, then I'm like, all right, cool. And plus, it's just a kick-ass action movie at the same time.
The set pieces are so good.
The one scene that I really loved was he's coming out of OCP, right? That's what it was called?
Yeah.
OCP, and he was trying to arrest one of the guys, and all of a sudden, all the cops just literally open fire on him. And it's such an interesting thing of just like, again, the Jesus Messiah figure
Yeah.
coming back, well, literally coming back from the dead.
Trying to
and
save the world.
trying
from the
to
evil
save
that's
them.
corrupting it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
trying to just make a good name even for the police of just like, here, we do this by the book, and this is how we stop crime super easy.
Yeah.
And them just annihilating him and him literally almost dying again.
Yeah.
And it's just such an amazing scene.
But through that scene too, he realizes that he can take off his mask because he's
Mm-hmm.
saved by his former partner,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that connects him deeper still to his humanity.
By the way,
In a
is
way.
the mask the LED screen
Like
where
the
he
visor.
sees
Yeah,
the-
that's the
Yeah, the
visor.
visor.
that's how
yeah.
he sees things. Okay.
Yeah. But he decides to unscrew it. Remember?
Yeah.
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 Or even though there's that shot with, I think it's after he gets hit by Ed 209, you can see his eye just through like this cracked piece of glass.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
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 So I kind of feel like for
No, this film has some of the best POV shots.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
definitely
Because like if you just look at RoboCop from a design standpoint, like if you know nothing about RoboCop and you look at that design, you think, oh, the visor is his eyes. But no, and then like the taking away, but like the taking away of the visor is like, oh, that's not
that's not his eyes.
that's the machinery blocking his
Or
eyes
even
from
take away
having
more
like
humanity from him.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just his mouth that's literally the only thing that people
Yeah.
see from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that also might be just for concealing identity's sake, because when he died,
And
That is
that.
dude, imagine
totally-
being
Yeah.
dude, imagine if his wife found out.
yeah.
Holy shit.
That's sort of what they do with the,
Is that
the
happening?
remake.
Is that, oh, that happened. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that's
don't
sort
need
of.
to see that. Do
Yeah,
I?
no, the remake sucked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
I heard all they have to say is drones are bad.
yeah, that's
and
kind of
it.
it.
Which they are,
yeah,
but
They
that's
probably
it.
Shot half the movie.
yeah, on a
too.
drone. It's yeah, I would say like just in terms of any of the RoboCop movies, this is the only one you really need to see. Because the sequels really aren't that great, and I think the third one was PG-13.
And they put his visor back on.
Yeah, it's like
What
it
the
doesn't make any
hell?
sense.
Why would they
It's
put
almost-
the visor back on?
It's almost like just get a new RoboCop for the next one. You don't
Yeah.
need to do Murphy again. So
So
I don't know.
uninspired.
But it's definitely a movie that if you want to do anything with science fiction, that's like a mandatory kind of watch. And I would just say too that Paul Verhoeven is completely insane, but I love him for that.
I love him so much.
And I think he's definitely one of my favorite directors, especially with this and Starship Troopers. Did Basic Instinct too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, what
Basic
I love
Instinct.
about Paul Verhoeven is that like his films can entertain both the smartest guy in the audience and the dumbest guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no separation between
But-
highbrow and lowbrow.
I mean, the
in a
only
Paul
problem is
Verhoeven
that I'm not
movie.
sure.
Because they're kind of a mix of both.
I'm not
anyway.
sure
Yeah.
if the dumbest guy in the room can understand satire, and that's
Well, it's
and
appealing to the dumbest guy because of the violence.
It's
Yeah.
that like that can be kind of a problem with like Starship Troopers, for example, where it's like Because if you don't get
Fascism's
if you don't
cool.
get
That's the dumb lowbrow part of it.
if
It's sign up for the military.
if you don't get the satire, you're just taking it in as straight fascist propaganda.
But that's for the lowbrow.
Yeah, fascists are idiots.
So,
that's part of it.
Well, that's why lowbrow guys have to hang out with highbrow guys.
Yeah.
Because highbrow guys don't have any social skills.
And that's why we have
And
this
usually-
podcast.
And usually can't defend themselves.
Especially doing it
and
in the
lowbrow
closet.
guys usually can't understand good art.
And that's why we have this podcast.
And that's why we have this podcast.
Yeah. I think for me though, it's something that even his design is great, regardless of it. Like even when he takes the visor off and everything, seeing that again, it's
the
just
way
his
the skin
face
connects to
all the robotics.
Oh, how they stretch out the skin.
It's
on him.
amazing
Yeah.
body horror, and
it's upsetting.
Yeah, but
It's deeply upsetting.
Yeah, I think my favorite shot of him too is when he's gonna fight Red from that '70s show, and he's just like there holding the gun up in the water. Again, the Jesus imagery of walking on water.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's just something about that shot where it's like there's cowboy stuff in there. There's just sort of like the everyday action hero sort of thing. But seeing a guy who's literally brought back from, well, he dies again, brought back from the dead, almost dying again, then finally, in a way, his humanity coming back is him being born again too. And there's a bunch of just like religious shit in here too that I love.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when we were discussing it even last night a little bit, talking about the Terminator series, I think I prefer this over the Terminator stuff.
I do.
Just the first movie, not anything else that came after. Terminator's easier to digest than this when you really take a look at it.
Yeah.
But I would say, regardless if it's a thinking man or a non-thinking man, it's a movie that feels so unique and also just way too familiar at the same time.
Yeah. One quick thing. Can we talk about Ed 209?
Oh my God, the doggo of the movie.
No, but like the way.
How dare you insult dogs?
The
like
way
that?
No,
he's-
I'm not insulting.
the way
He's
he's
adorable.
Weirdly, like I think the way his introduction scene is like kind of the scariest part. To me.
That's why you never
Like,
volunteer.
dude, imagine
That's why you never volunteer for a
being
science
that
film,
guy
Who
after
gives-
who like is told to like point the gun at the robot and see what happens, and the robot says, "You got 20 seconds to drop the weapon." You drop the weapon, you do the right thing, you comply, and you still fucking get obliterated. It's
Maybe he should have thrown the weapon.
wait, shit, that's what happens in real life. People will drop their weapon and still
And
get
then
killed.
bang.
But anyway,
But I'm
you know?
gonna say though that I'll make a case.
But,
I
like-
love Ed 209 because he's so like dysfunctional.
Yeah.
He can't go
Because
downstairs.
He can't go down. That's adorable.
That's
The way
what
he's
the-
animated,
Yeah.
like he just looks so like
he's so cute.
yeah.
You know, and even like when his hand, or I guess can you say hand? Like the left gun, I guess.
He doesn't have hands. He has
His
guns.
guns. The left gun gets like blown up. And just seeing again, also just the stop motion, really all the effects in here.
Everything's like really well integrated, except for that guy getting pushed off the building with his
with his arms.
that's
Yeah.
great.
His arms are like
It's-
way
I
too long.
love that, though.
It's a great little,
But it's like why?
a mistake.
Like how could they have
but-
not seen that those arms are way too long? Like was that on purpose? Like I just don't.
I kind of feel like it was
could
just a
be.
mistake, but if it's on purpose, then I love
Paul
it even
Verhoeven
more.
is a complete satirist. So like
Yeah.
that may be him just like reminding the audience that what they're watching isn't real, because it's
Maybe.
such a triumphant ending. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So maybe
Yeah.
like he wanted to like pull back
Like,
the curtain.
but like, hey, this is all bullshit.
This
You
is
know
all
this,
bullshit.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
It's well, the other thing too, regarding any news of RoboCop. I know we don't really want to discuss a bunch of movie news, but there is one of those direct legacy sequels coming out for RoboCop.
Oh, so it's not like a remake? Or...
No, it's not a remake. It's like a direct.
Edward Newmiles.
Is the who
something
is
with
the
it
guy
too,
who
right?
plays RoboCop in it?
I think I only saw little thing on Wikipedia. I didn't really look into it. I was just like, oh, they're doing another one.
RoboCop returns.
Oh,
Who's
in it?
Who's
He's they don't have a cast yet.
who's
Uh,
directing it?
Abe Forsyth, and he
Okay.
directed this movie called Little Monsters.
Can I see
With
what else?
the-
Can I see what else is on?
I
his
got
filmography?
1%, but
On your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's just some guy.
There's
Just
some guy
Some
dude.
guy. Good for
But
him.
Yeah.
The screenwriter of the original RoboCop
is the writer.
is the writer, and what I like is that it isn't a remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what I'll say with.
Oh,
it's
no,
just a-
Hooven's writing it too.
oh,
Oh,
really?
Cool.
Oh, that's
Nice.
even better.
Nice.
I'll just say a quick tangent on those direct sequels
Mhm.
is some of them are great, but some of them really suck. And I'm really hoping that this is one of those Halloween 2018 experiments that like it'll pay off somehow.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because we don't want another Jurassic World.
I mean, I think like the shining example of that is probably Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's like a perfect.
That-
where it like actually.
that's
is,
a perfect.
well,
sequel.
also
Yeah,
the first
perfect
Top.
sequel.
I mean, the first Top Gun sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
It's
There's a lot
a
of,
very high bar to jump.
the bar is very
Yeah.
low. Yeah. All they needed to do was just do really cool flying scenes, and
Yeah.
they went even.
They went
also were,
further.
Yeah,
it has such a solid structure.
It's such
It's
a
such a
great
perfect
fucking
structure.
movie.
the emotions of the characters are
man.
palpable.
Cool.
Great writing, great acting. Like Top Gun Maverick just fires on all cylinders.
And it's
Yeah.
very sincere.
That's
very
another.
sincere.
Well, for another
Yeah.
time, let's discuss that because
It'll probably
uh,
return to the podcast.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I think
my-
we should. I think we'll probably get to talk about Top Gun around Oscar season
probably
because I got some good feelings about.
Oh hell yeah.
Do you guys have? You want to talk Oscar predictions?
No.
No, because
Aw.
I probably haven't seen most of an Oscar nominate kind of thing, like a nominations. It's something that I'm not really into. A lot of those
yeah.
movies,
Well, I mean, you saw The Fabelmans.
Yeah,
You saw.
but that's also sort of a mainstream movie too.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, young people would beg to differ.
oh,
They're
right.
like they think Steven Spielberg is like an art house filmmaker that no one can.
really.
Yeah, they think Spielberg's too esoteric these days.
Ah.
They don't.
Oh man.
Yeah, they're just
If you
like.
want to talk esoteric, then I don't know,
Marvel's poisoned their
Coppola.
brains.
Like,
Coppola. Esoteric.
I don't know.
Maybe in some of his movies, but like I don't know. I
I, mean,
think
I
he's
would
a pretty
say like
approachable
I would say
filmmaker.
Apocalypse Now is still
That's still
It's
classic.
vibey.
Yeah.
it's vibey. But yeah,
It's
no, I
very
mean,
vibey.
but that's like, I guess the closest thing we have to a mainstream director that's trying to make something challenging, and it's something, and also like everyone sees the movie.
Nolan.
No, well,
James Cameron.
I was gonna say Jordan Peele actually.
Oh yeah.
Cause like
Oh,
like
yeah.
Nope is a weird fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
didn't
weird
see that.
movie
Yeah.
that wants you to think about it. You
Very
know.
strange structure.
Whereas like Nolan,
Yeah.
like I don't know if Nolan wants you to think about it.
I
He
think
wanted
just
to
wants
back
you
in the
be
2000s.
awe-inspired.
But like Tenet, it's like don't worry about it. He's
Yeah.
just like
Tenet's
Nolan's
just
really
whatever.
Nolan's really all about spectacle. Where it's like Jordan Peele's like Jordan Peele has something to say.
Get Out was great.
Get Out's great. Us is meh.
I didn't
Us
Us
bother
just
seeing
straight until
Us.
the ending.
It over explains
You know,
itself. Yeah.
logistically it makes no sense.
You know, it's funny
You know,
because
yeah.
I do really love like the 2000s, early 2010 of Nolan. I think after Dark Knight Rises is sort of where I lost interest. Like I saw Interstellar, but I don't know. I didn't really like that. It just didn't seem as exciting as probably everybody was hyping it up to be.
like
Dunkirk was great though. That's a great one.
I'm in
But,
no place to talk about Nolan because I haven't seen Memento. I feel like I cannot discuss Nolan at present. But anyone who knows me,
Have you seen Inception?
I have.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's
it's a
like
classic.
Yeah, it's
enough.
okay.
Like
It's okay. Yeah.
That's
I've seen,
such
I've
a
seen the Dark Knight
kick-ass movie.
trilogy. I've seen Inception.
I'm Batman.
And I just have some major qualms with Christopher Nolan. I think the ways that he shoots things is just very boring.
Well, it's
truth be
supposed
told.
to be real. Like,
very
quote,
bland.
real.
it's all about realism.
Realism.
The-
The fucking...
I'm the type of guy who likes cinematographers like Robert Richardson, who just blast the shit out of their movies with hot lights and make everything like really interesting to look at. Like that's my type of cinema, baby. And Christopher Nolan just has a very plain, very Wonder Bread type of look to his films.
But that's what he wants to do.
I know.
And it's...
And
yeah,
I don't like it.
I get it.
I don't
it works,
like it.
It works for the Dark Knight
It looks
trilogy.
like a Sony commercial.
It works for the Dark Knight trilogy, sort of for Inception, but I think for his style and the types of stories that he does, it makes sense. So, I don't know. I think his cinematographer, I don't know how many they've done.
Wally Pfister.
Wally Pfister, yeah.
But I don't think he shot Tenet and Interstellar though.
Okay.
Or wait,
I know he did the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because it's a decent trilogy. First two are great. Then Dark
Yeah.
Knight Rises fucked
But
up.
like,
Fact.
in
Well,
terms of cinematography, the Batman blows those movies out of the water.
sure. By the way, I have a fun fact about Wally Pfister.
Pfister?
Pfister. It's like there's a P in the beginning.
Yeah, I know.
At Montclair State, he talked for a film forum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I was on a Zoom call with him.
Nice.
And
nice.
yeah, did you know he directed the the Taco Bell nacho fries commercial?
He did that?
Where it's like Blade Runner.
Yeah?
Yeah, he directed that.
Ah, sick.
Yeah.
I know he did a Johnny Depp movie that sucked.
Oh, Transcendence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of, if we are going to discuss a little bit about Batman, I still think the best looking Gotham City, my opinion, is still the Burton movies. I love that German expressionism,
But-
sort of like twisty Gothic look.
I think the Matt Reeves, the Batman, has kind of a really good balance
The
of
most palpable.
has a really good balance of
Like, I felt like I was.
It's
it feels
beautiful.
like it feels like a modern city and still has like the Gothic architecture in places.
It's
and
beautiful.
It was out of
Yeah.
Liverpool, of all places.
But I still
sense.
like that look the best. It's just something to me
it's
that
almost like comic book-esque.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, and the same thing for the Batman, like the New 52, and even the run now for Batman. It does have that same kind of look.
Yeah.
The Nolan one just looks like Chicago.
Yes,
Yeah.
because that was the point. It's supposed to be, can Batman be in the real world? And
Yeah.
the
And
answer
that's not
is
what
sort
my-
of.
That's not why we go to the movies. We don't go to the movies to see the real world. I would just go watch a documentary then.
Well, maybe should have interviewed Batman.
Yeah, just found a vigilante in Miami or something.
I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, I would say that the Batman looks great and was definitely a kick-ass movie. How many times did you guys see that in the theater?
5 times.
You saw it 5
I
times?
saw it 5 times.
I saw it once.
I saw it twice.
I still need to rewatch it.
I got a free ticket the second time.
It's just so long though.
Yeah, it's way too long.
It's like it's like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It didn't. There were so
It
many
didn't
moments where it's
be
like they
3
could've-
hours.
There's a perfect moment where they could have just ended it. It's,
Yeah.
It's at the.
It's the shot where he's
Well,
looking
he's
up.
looking
It's
up.
where he's looking up
Yeah.
after the. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
just
that's it.
cut
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
It's not
He
a
learned his
perfect
lesson.
film.
He did the monologue, and then
Yeah.
boom, you're out.
You're out. I really like the scene where he says with Zoe Kravitz just chilling, and she says like, "Well, they're gonna come after you, but you can come away with me."
Well, then put
And
that
he's-
before. Oh no, you can't. Never mind.
Just
Yeah.
cut it out. You
I
don't need
really
it.
like that.
You could save that for the next movie.
I
Yeah,
really-
do
You could
that
save
for
that
the
scene for the
intro
next
to
movie.
the
Next
intro to
one,
the next one. Yeah.
I hope Mr. Freeze is the villain. In
Yeah,
the next
seriously,
Can I make a prediction about who's gonna play Mr. Freeze?
please.
Or at least a request.
Who?
If for whatever reason Matt Reeves listens to this podcast,
One. Our episode 1 of our unknown podcast.
Yeah.
Matt, if you're out there, buddy, first of all, great movie, man. Second of all, Stanley Tucci as Mr. Freeze,
Eh,
please.
I don't know.
You know who should be? No.
Who?
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
Too short.
Yeah.
Too
Christoph Waltz. Just put him on stilts. Who
Who gives a
cares?
shit?
Who cares?
And he's
got a
German
freeze ray.
too.
Who cares if he's
No, that's
German or
kinda-
not?
no,
And he's
Mr.
That's
very-
amazing
He's
about
very
it.
Mr.
confident
Freeze.
too.
Mr.
Christoph
Freeze-
Waltz is too confident
Mr. Freeze
to play
is a,
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze should be a German scientist though.
He should be
No.
talking just like this.
But also, Mr. Freeze was a very insecure man, and that's why he loved his wife so much.
Well,
because
was
he
it
was-
You don't think Christoph
He
Waltz
wasn't
could play
insecure.
Insecure?
I haven't seen it yet.
have,
Maybe he can.
have you read Mr. Freeze?
No, like once he's in the costume, like
Now he's Christoph Waltz.
He's
Wait,
invisible.
no. Because in the comic, he's definitely more confident. Like as a scientist, he's just trying to save his wife. I don't think he's insecure.
I mean, like
Oh,
in the
no,
animated
he's
series, the
insecure.
animated series is the thing that like actually
that
gives
really
him.
He's kinda
gave him
soft.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
he had an edge even before he got pushed into all those chemicals.
Well, he had angle.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think he had
like,
confidence.
but I don't think he was ever an insecure character.
I think he was.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Because, like, no, I mean, but
I'm just standing between you two.
Yeah,
just-
yeah. We're just going at
on
it.
our Muppet Movies and Robocop podcast, here we're going to talk about how
Fucking Mr.
insecure
Freeze.
Mr. Freeze is. I think he was, because he loved his wife so much. I mean,
Man, Mr. Freeze, that man gets no pussy.
Can I
yes,
say?
yes, well,
Can I
not,
say-
not in the costume.
So I will
but when
say.
his loving wife was around,
Yeah.
Freeze fucked.
Do you think his balls are like always shrunken?
No, they're always blue.
But no, but like they're always like you know when you're in like the pool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like-
Probably. I mean,
wonder
I'd
if
never
he
thought
is
about
in
the
it.
super villain anatomy, but at the same. But here's the thing, it's just that with Mr. Freeze, the only way you get to really corner him or do whatever, and maybe I'm sure they'll figure out a way to make him weak, but it's so hard to like make him actually weak in the comic or even in movies.
Oh no, I'm not talking about.
No,
when
I know
he
what you're
gets
saying,
his-
insecure, but
Insecure, not after. After he gets his powers, he's a badass.
yeah,
And
but
he's-
he wasn't
but he's
insecure
kinda
as a
nerdy.
scientist.
I think he was insecure as a scientist.
Ah.
If you see the Paul Dini episodes
Yes,
of Batman
but
the Animated Series,
did you read the comic?
No.
Then you don't know.
Anyway, we should probably wrap up. Basically, the way this works is we're ripping off Sardonicast, where each of us takes turns recommending a movie for the next episode.
Okay.
So we're going in alphabetical order. So Colin, you're
Okay.
first. What do you want us to watch for next week?
So, I put a lot of thought into this,
Mm-hmm.
and I really want to watch In the Bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
The only dilemma is that In the Bedroom is a hard movie to find.
Let me
So-
check Just Watch.
Yeah, look on.
Yeah.
Let me check Just Watch.
So
on,
if it's an easy
whatever
movie
service.
to find, I would love to watch In the Bedroom. But if you guys are having difficulties finding that movie, I don't want to put you through the wringer to find this film.
Yeah.
Let me see.
What would be a second option?
Oh, it can be rented on. You can rent it. It can be rented for $2.99.
On what?
Like all the VOD stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's not too hard.
Yeah,
Okay.
never mind.
We're watching In the Bedroom because Ian and I went to a marvelous event at a very swing hotel
Yeah.
where we saw a screening of Toll with Todd Field himself.
Yes.
And I talked with Todd Field afterwards. And he
Yes.
gave me great words of encouragement. And I love that man.
He's a cool man.
And so we are going to watch more of his work.
I wasn't at this thing. It was just an Ian and Colin thing.
Yeah.
That
Ian
guy-
and I managed to get lost in a numbered grid.
Yeah.
If Ross was there,
He's
we
great.
wouldn't have had to worry about
We
that.
will save more of this for next week.
Yes.
So next week,
I'll tell my side of the story.
if you're following along with the podcast, be sure to watch In the Bedroom, directed by Todd Field from the year 2002.
Oh no!
Thank
the
you.
famous year.
Thank you for listening.
Oh, but before we end,
Yeah, before
Oh,
we
shit.
scoot,
we should mention our YouTube channel
we do have a
that we
YouTube
just
channel.
launched.
Yeah.
the one
Today.
you might be listening to this episode on the channel.
Yeah.
If you're not on a podcast app.
But anyway, if you're listening on this app, you can also have some audio visual experiences on our YouTube channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
This Friday,
yes.
when we will be releasing my film, Guardian Banshee.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also, we're going to be doing weekly sketches
Mm-hmm.
and also this podcast every week.
Yes.
So subscribe to that.
You're going to be well fed if you're a fan of ours.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
if you're a Muppet or sci-fi fan, just hop on.
Yeah.
Here's
You know-
the thing: if you want to like know about either movies that usually don't get talked about, I want to say, because I don't always see somebody talking about the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I do because I'm a Muppet nerd. So
Yes, because
I'm
you're a
in
Muppet
that. I'm in
nerd.
that circle.
but for the general public or general listener, yeah, I mean, we all love cult films,
We
niche.
love cult films. We love
all that
art
kind of
house
stuff.
films,
Yeah.
B-movies.
I'll watch anything.
I mean, my comfort movie is House of a Thousand Corpses. So
Mm.
take that as you will.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the first episode of the Stray Dog Podcast. And stay tuned for The Guardian Banshee coming this Friday.
Hey, this is Ross with a correction. Actually, Guardian Banshee already came out, and this episode is uploaded on a Tuesday. We're still working out the kinks of our schedule.
And stay tuned for more podcast episodes, too.
So long.
Ta-ta.